This week on C Plus News Time, ABC gets a Zach Braff pilot and Fox nabs a Craig Robinson and Adam Scott pilot. Oh, and Issa Rae goes into a first look deal with HBO just in time for the premiere of her new show. What is a first look deal anyway? I'll dive into that, but I won't tell you what the birds and the bees are. That's because I don't know. Let's experiment sexually on this C Plus News Time.
It's C Plus News Time. Delivering to you the news you didn't know about, the news you didn't care about, and the news you didn't know you cared about. With host, Chad White. Now, here's that host, Chad White.
Only 90s kids remember Columbine, right? LOL! Welcome back to C Plus News Time. I'm your host, Chad White, and this is the comedy news you didn't know about for the week of August 29, 2016. It was a slow week with a bunch of pilot grabbing, but will these pilots fly or are they going to stay grounded? First up, ABC is going back to business with Zach Braff. You may remember the actor's famed show, Scrubs, moving from NBC to ABC in his final season. Although Braff played a minor role in the new format, he was still a part of it. Do not block it out of your mind. We all saw it. Deadline reported last week that Braff is headlining the tentatively titled Startup based on a podcast of the same name. The show will follow a man with a family who decides to drop everything and create a startup. Don't get used to the title though. It's due for a change because a new drama on Crackle is named the same thing. Regardless, the series is being done with Scrubs co-executive producer Matt Tarsis. Let's just thank the heavens that we don't have to give Braff money this time to star in something. Kickstarter. Next up, Mr. Robot's Craig Robinson and YouTube fanatic Adam Scott and Quardero are making a Fox comedy pilot that's kind of like the X-Files. There's a lot going on in that sentence. Let me back up. The show is called Ghosted and will follow a skeptical Robinson and a paranormal believer Scott as they look into unexplained activity in Los Angeles. Don't get too excited though. The script duties are being handled by Tom Gormigan, the man responsible for that awkward moment. Yeah, that Jim. Oh, and he was one of the 30 producers on Movie 43. Yeah. And finally, Issa Rae signed on to a first look deal with HBO. This is ahead of her new show Insecure, which will debut on the network in October. This deal will last 2 years, which is pretty usual for this type of business entertainment thing. Rae's intention for the deal is to, quote, develop programming focused on diverse voices, which in layman terms means, hey, let's get a whole bunch of minorities and women's to make shows and what's nots. It could prove to be a fruitful endeavor, or it could totally not pan out. There's really only two paths here. That's just how these deals go. Before we get into anything, you must be asking yourself what a first look deal is exactly anyway. According to Wikipedia, it's a contract containing a clause granting, usually for a fee or other consideration that covers a specified period of time, a preemption right, right of first refusal, or right of first offer to another party, who then is given the first opportunity to buy outright, co-own, invest in, license, etc., something that is newly coming into existence or on the market for the first time or after an absence, such as intellectual property or real property, or a fancy way of a network saying we have first dibs on your ideas. Rae is now contractually obligated to, when she has an idea for a show, go to HBO first and tell them about it. Plus she gets paid. It's a sweet gig for any creative type, really, and HBO could have a potential hit on their hands. The key word here is could. They may pass on it and Rae may shop it to other avenues who would pick it up or pass appropriately. First look deals have been around for years. They're essentially the younger sibling of overall deals, which are basically you working for a studio creatively because your ideas are so #fire emoji. But first looks are better because you're able to take your passed upon thoughts and show them to other sexier networks. They can also lead to great jobs. Just look at Michael Bay and Transformers. Paramount bought the movie rights for the famous toy line, and oh, who was right there to blow it all up? That's right, Bay was, because of his first look deal with the studio. Steven Spielberg wanted a stab at it, but he signed on as executive producer instead. Then he asked Bay to tackle the project, but Bay didn't want to do a, quote, stupid toy movie. But his need to work with Spielberg greatly outweighed his hate of toys, and it all went down from there. So it's all right time, right place, really. First look deals have been commonplace for years, and pretty much everyone gets one, except me because I'm a nobody. Current ones that are ongoing include the Rec creators Justin and Jordan Shipley having 2 years at TBS, Tina Fey's Little Stranger Incorporated being vetted by Universal after the success of Sisters, and Jason Reitman and Hulu going into cahoots after the success of the original series Casual. The last happens to be the first one for the streaming service. Not only can you sign with a network, but you can also go with an entire company, as seen with Tina Fey. Joel Silver inked a first look deal with Lionsgate TV, which opened up a slew of options for him. The famed movie producer, known for a ton of hits like the first two Die Hards, The Last Sherlock, Veronica Mars, and more recently, The Nice Guys. He's already working on put pilots, which are pilots that would be picked up no matter what for both Fox and CBS. The same goes for Ivan Goria and Universal, who already bought a movie about quinceañeras from the creator of Awkward. But it's not all roses and daisies for these deals. Like many business transactions, plans do fall through. The Onion had a 1-year pact with CBS in 2011 after the success of its two cable shows, Onion Sports Dome on Comedy Central and Onion News Network on IFC. Nothing came of the whole situation, but that can probably be chalked up to CBS being the uptight sorority girl of broadcast TV. HBO has a similar deal with rapper Common. His 2 years began back in October 2015, and he's almost done with no evidence of a show in sight. Issa Rae is in a precarious position. She's got the deal that every young entertainer wants and eventually gets if they're decent enough. But it's important that she takes the next step in securing more shows that are just like hers. Rae's first look can lead to the start of a new age of HBO, where 1 or even 2 shows are created with voices that are better reflecting of a changing and more diverse generation. And I can't wait to see what she does next. That's all the news I have for you for this week on C Plus News Time. Why don't you subscribe and check out one of our other videos? Of course, you can always head to the website cpluscomedy.com, where we've got the latest news, reviews, features, interviews, and other good comedy bits that only I can provide you with. You can follow us on Twitter at cpluscomedy, follow me on Twitter at ChadBlackWhite, like us on Facebook, tumble with us on Tumblr, enjoy some college football because it's back. I don't like college that much because, NFL is better because people are getting paid to do it. And also, I met Noah North today when I'm filming this. It's pretty fucking cool. All right, that's all I want to say. All right, bye.